Okay, we'll go with today's class again. That is, we'll dealing with the noise pollution. Noise pollution is nothing but undesirable high level of sound for hearing is called as noise pollution. Any such places which is highly populated or there is too much of traffic over there, industries, different factories running, or many automobiles running. These all cause noise pollution. Okay, as you can see in the picture as well, the vehicles running, the trains, airplanes, then the different buildings, different sounds. Whereas from the traffic as well, so many such sound make noise pollution. That is undesirable high level of sound for hearing is called as noise pollution. Please listen to the class carefully and also note down the points so that in the end I will ask you, because I had said in the last class that I'll be asking you about the different type of the effects noise pollution have in the daily basis which you see. Okay, so next coming to the harmful effect of noise pollution. Okay, what are the harmful effects of noise pollution? Harmful effects of noise pollution is a very clear. You must have also seen or have been felt some of these noise effects of noise pollution. That is, one is psychological, having psychological in a sense, it is which is because related to some brain which can have you kind of a headaches, kind of anxiety as well. Okay, so the one is psychological, which gives you a very bad headaches as well as anxiety, makes you anxious, makes you feel restless as well. One is physiological, where you will have ear pains. Okay, one ear pain, eardrum pains, and all. You will kind of have a irritated feeling. That is what is physiological disorders. Next is high sound level may damage eardrums. High sound level or too much of sound can damage your eardrums as well. Noise causes sleeplessness. That is, you cannot sleep in a loud noise. That is, you all must be aware about it. So, noise causes sleeplessness. Increased heart rate. Yes, many of them must have come across this increased heart rate kind of effect when when you are in a very loud noise or a very loud sound places. Yes or no? So kind of an increased heart rate you can feel it because of the heavy noise or a heavy sounds going on around. And one is altered breathing pattern. Some of them feel breathlessness as well because of the high noise or a heavy sounds. Okay, these are the few harmful effect of noise pollution. They have physiological, psychological disorders in humans. High level may damage eardrums. Noise causes sleeplessness, increased heart rate, and altered breathing pattern. These are the few harmful effects of noise pollution. Okay, so next coming to what are the control measures you can do with the noise pollution. Okay, so how can you prevent the noise pollution? So prevention of noise pollution can be done and the noise pollution can be controlled. Okay, so how you can stop this? So that is one prevention is use of sound absorbed materials or by muffling noise in the industries. Okay, so now something new, right? This is sound absorbed materials. These sound absorbed materials are nothing but those are kind of a porous materials. Porous is nothing but which are having pores or holes in them. Okay, pores or holes in them. These sound absorbed materials are nothing but which are having holes in them or a pores in them. Such materials serve as a good insulators for absorption of sound. Okay, for examples are very easy actually. Cotton clothes are used as a sound absorbing materials. Different plastic structures or different things which are having pores in them are used as a sound absorbing materials in in some of the places where there are heavy sounds. It can be in factories as well, and also by muffling noise in industries. Muffling is nothing but by stopping it, by stopping that particular noises or the sounds which come from the industries. Like that we can prevent the noise pollution. Okay, use of sound absorbed materials. These sound absorbed materials are nothing but porous materials, or the materials which are having holes in them are used as a sound absorbing materials or sound absorbed materials. Okay, these are nothing but porous materials. One of the examples is used is the cotton clothes are also used as a sound absorbed material. Cotton clothes are also used as a sound absorbing materials. And by stopping the noise in the industries also, the prevention of the noise pollution can be done. Okay, so remember this use of sound absorbed materials. These sound absorbed materials are nothing but the materials which are having pores in them or holes in them, which can absorb the sound. Okay, which can absorb the sound. Mostly these cotton clothes, the some of those these materials are made so that they can absorb the sound. These porous materials are made so that they can absorb the sound. Second one is demarcation of a horn free zones around hospitals and schools. Okay, so demarcation. What does this word demarcation means? Okay, demarcation is nothing but it is the action of fixing the boundary or a limit of something. Okay, action of fixing a boundary or a limit of something. Demarcation is nothing but action of fixing a boundary or limit of something. So, limit of something in a sense. Now, see what they will demark is, or what they will put as a boundary is. So, near the hospitals, near the schools, there must be no sound, which is no sound must be there above the 20 decibels or 50 decibels, like that of one limit is set for them. Okay, one limit is set so that above this limit, there must be no sound must be there in near the hospitals and schools. Okay, no sound means it has to be totally horn-free zones. Okay, it should be totally horn-free zones. That means horning is totally banned in near the hospitals and schools. Okay, so purposely horning or making too much of noise or simply keeping the ignition on and all is totally banned near the places such as hospitals and schools. Demarcation is nothing but to limit something. Okay, to limit something means above this limit there should be no sound should be heard. Okay, above this limit there should be no sound should be heard. It has to be kept as a horn free zones. Okay, you must have seen this near the hospitals, near the schools, near many such places where the signboards have been put so that horn-free zones or horning is banned or something like that. You must have seen those signboards as well, which says that it is a demarcation, means there is a limit or there is a fixed boundary so that above the boundary there has to be no sound made near these places. Understood? Okay, so demarcation is nothing but setting one boundary or setting one limit, okay, for the people. So that about this or you should be about this sound must not be created or about or it has to be totally a horn free zones. Means horning must be totally banned in these places. Okay, next coming to permissible sound levels of crackers. Only that many crackers has to be bursted. How much of permission is being given? How much of is given? That many crackers only should be bursted. We should not keep on bursting it all the time, creating noise pollution as well as air pollution. Okay, permissible means whatever the permission is set, that much of sound levels of crackers should be bursted. Above that, it should not be, and the bursting of crackers should not continue for a very long time. Okay. So one more thing is timings after which loudspeaker cannot be played. This you must be very aware. After 10 and all, it is totally banned to use loudspeakers to make to do like a kind of a too much of noise. Either it can be from the neighborhoods or anywhere, from any such places it is been banned. After 10 there must be no such noises or sounds should come from any such places. Either it can be from either it can be any function areas or anywhere something is going on, and some wedding is going on, some function is going on, and also there they must keep in mind that there is a limit of time, that after this time the loudspeakers or any such sound must not be made, okay, which can cause noise pollution. So prevention of noise pollution can be done by using sound absorbed materials, okay, or by muffling the sounds in the industries, means by stopping the sounds from the industries. Demarcation is nothing but setting a boundary, okay, setting a boundary or limit of something. Within this limit only you should do it. Above this limit it is not acceptable, okay. So demarcation of horn-free zones around hospitals and schools. Permissible sound levels of crackers. Only the how much the permission is given, that many sound levels of that many crackers only should be bursted. Okay, about that, too much of noise must not, too much of sound must not be done, which can affect the animals, which can affect the elderly people as well, which can affect the yeah, the kids as well. So that much only that permissible sound of crackers should be done. Timings after which loudspeakers cannot be played. Okay, these are the some of the prevention of noise pollution. And after noise pollution, there is one more thing which is also very important. That is undesirable change in physical, chemical, or biological property of water is called as water pollution. So you must have studied in your this previous classes as well that what does water pollution actually means. Let us make it very simple. Not will not go into this definition. For you, water pollution is nothing but when people throw off the waste in the water bodies, sewage into the water bodies, then they clean their vessels, wash their clothes near the water bodies, wash the animals near the water bodies, leave all the sewage water into the water bodies. This is something as water pollution. Yes or no? Where the plastics, the waste, the non-biodegradable, degradable, the biodegradable, every waste has been thrown out into the water. There are many such rivers in India which are highly polluted. Okay, there are many such rivers in India which are highly polluted. Which is one of the most highly polluted river in India? Which is anyone knows? Anyone knows which is the highly polluted river in India? Okay, any this clean project is going on. River cleaning project is going on. Anyone knows about it? Okay, Ganga River is the highly polluted. Which is that cleaning project which is going on? Okay, you must have come across River Yamuna as well, which is also polluted. So the cleaning projects are going on both for the river Ganga and Yamuna as well, because those are highly polluted rivers in India. Okay, so these are the different rivers which are polluted. Most of the water bodies are polluted in India, but what I'm saying is, what is the reason? What is the reason for so it is why it is highly polluted? What are the reasons? Can put down in the chat box. What are the reasons that they are highly polluted? Some of the few reasons you can give. Okay, waste. What they do? Dumping waste into the river. Very good, Elvina. Industrial waste, good Trupti. Waste materials, municipal waste, very good. animal waste. Yeah, yeah, and these are the different waste which are being allowed to put into the river. There is nothing, there is no such what any this no such demarcation is done, so that there must be no waste should be put into these rivers, because of which the water bodies in India are highly polluted. So it makes the easy way for them to dump the waste, for the people to dump the waste into the rivers, into the oceans, into the lakes, into the sea, and by which the pollution, the picture you can see there, and the screen as well, you can see different types of waste are there. There, plastic waste is one among them, which is non-degradable. So these are the reasons for water pollution. Okay, so that means undesirable change in the physical, chemical, or biological property of water is called as water pollution. So now coming to undesirable change, you know, which is not acceptable, which is which you we do not require. Okay, which we do not require. These changes are there. Okay, so physical, chemical, or biological. Physical means changing the chemical properties, physical properties, as well as the biological properties of water. That means that different types of waste have been thrown by which we of the microorganism, pathogenic microorganisms, some of the algae, plants, weeds, everything are grown in water, which leads to the different effects. Okay, which leads to the different effects. The important water pollutants are sewage, sewage waste, industrial waste, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides. Okay, now you must be aware about the sewage waste, where through the different buildings, through the different households, different industries, everything and all that sewage, whatever the waste is there, they have been allowed to go into the rivers or into the seas. In that is how it has been done. Or this is how it is. They have done the municipal ways have been done for the sewage waste to go. Industrial waste is because the industries, whatever such effluents which are harmful as well as which are not required, they are allowed to go into the water bodies from the industries. Then coming to chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, so why these are the reason? Okay, why these are the reason for the water pollution? What happens is agricultural lands use agriculturalists or the farmers use chemical fertilizers and pesticides in the agricultural land. Okay, they use these chemical fertilizers and pesticides in the agricultural land, so that the pest and the pests are kept away from these crops, and fertilizers for as a part of a manure to grow it. So what actually happens is these fertilizers and pesticides which are put into this land are washed out by the water, are washed out by the water, or during soil erosion or anything any such, or these are allowed to go into the such rivers, such seas, or any such lake ponds. These the agricultural water is allowed to go in such places, that is in rivers they are allowed to go in, and then in the seas they are allowed to go, in ponds, lakes they are allowed to go there. Where what happens is when the water from the agricultural land is allowed to go to such water bodies, they along with them take the chemical fertilizers, take the pesticides also. They along with them take the chemical fertilizers and the pesticides also. So what happens? It also becomes one of the reason of pollution. It also becomes one of the reason of pollution. Okay, so chemical fertilizers and pesticides which are from the agricultural land, when the water from the agricultural land is allowed to go to such rivers or any such water bodies, what happens is they along with them carry these chemical fertilizers and pesticides also, polluting the water body, or polluting the river, lake, pond, or the sea. Okay, So water pollution is an undesirable change in physical, chemical or biological property of water, which is called as water pollution. The important water pollutants are, if I ask you the question, what are the important water pollutants, pollutants, you know, that which causes the pollution, substances or which causes the pollution. So sewage waste, industrial waste, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, these are the different pollutants which causes the water pollution. Okay, so you can see in this picture as well, the residential wastewater, that is from the household, then from the industries, then different places, the sewage is allowed to go into such water bodies, from industries, from small scale factories as well, or any some small scale industries as well. Then any such places like different places which uses water or as a byproduct, they lay out the water, as a byproduct they lay out the sewage into the water. Okay, so next, coming to effect of water pollution on biodiversity. Biodiversity is nothing but which is nothing but the which you can see in your external environment. Okay, so what is the effect of water pollution on biodiversity? Okay, now coming to the first one, that is domestic sewage and industrial effluents. So what happens is domestic sewage is usually in urban places, mostly this domestic sewage is allowed to move into the water bodies. Okay, the domestic sewage, that is nothing but the waste from the house, is allowed to go into the water bodies. Domestic sewage is nothing but the household sewage or the household waste. Whereas the industrial effluents is nothing but whatever the industrial waste is there are also allowed to go into the water bodies. Okay, sewage is a domestic waste containing large amount of waste organic matters including human fecal matter and microbes. Okay, sewage is a domestic waste containing large amount of waste organic matters including human fecal matter and microbes. So first thing is, sewage is a domestic waste. Domestic itself says you means a household waste. It is from the household it is allowed to move into the water bodies. So this domestic waste contains large amount of waste organic matters. It can be any organic waste such as the kitchen waste is allowed to go. The whatever it is, like the waste which are there from the house, like different types of organic waste, and usually not only the organic waste are allowed to go, but also the inorganic waste are also allowed to go into the water. Okay, inorganic waste are also allowed to go into the water from the domestic waste. Inorganic matters includes human fecal as well. Human fecal is nothing but the excreta of the humans. The excreta of the humans, the human waste is also made to go into the as a domestic waste and the sewage. That will only go and end on the such water bodies, that is in the lake, rivers, oceans, okay, and seas. So it goes and ends only there. This sewage goes and ends only there, whereas it includes the human excreta, the human waste as well. Okay, as you know that human fecal matter also goes along with the sewage. That means you must be also aware about the microbes also goes with it. Okay, E. coli is the microorganism which present in our intestine, which goes out into the environment through human fecal or a human excreta. So such microbes are also allowed to go into the sewage, which goes and ends into the water bodies. Okay, so sewage is a domestic waste containing large amount of waste organic matters. So from the domestic house, whatever waste are there, such organic waste is allowed to go in the as a sewage into this water bodies. This sewage not only includes this domestic waste, it also includes the human fecal matter, that is the human excreta, and which will also take microbes with them. Either can be harmful microbes or those microbes which are present in the which will be present in the environment, causing some of the other diseases as well, or it can be something a neutral microbes as well. But they take up these sewage take up all these waste along with them, which only goes and ends into such water bodies. Okay, so sewage is a domestic waste. It is a domestic waste is nothing but the household waste which contains large amount of organic matters. It can be vegetable waste, what vegetable waste, or what this kitchen waste, anything. Such waste are allowed to go as a sewage. Includes human excreta as well, and which will carry a lot of microbes with them. That is a lot of microorganism with them. Either it can be pathogenic or either those of the organisms which do not cause any diseases as well. Pathogenic is nothing but the harmful microorganism which causes diseases. Okay. So the sewage waste directly released to water. Okay. So the effect of water pollution on biodiversity will continue it in the next class. So if there are any doubts regarding this about the water pollution, or regarding the noise pollution, or regarding anything until now we have done, so you can ask me now. We'll discuss it here. If there are any doubts?